book is called The Builder Brothers Big Plans, and this is by Jonathan and Drew Scott. This is a picture of the real-life brothers. One sweet summer afternoon, Drew and Jonathan were doing what they did best, dreaming big. "Let's build a tree house," said Drew. "No, a castle," said Jonathan, "with a firefighter pole and a catapult." The twins were always making big plans, but for some reason, the grown-ups only ever laughed. "That sounds like quite a creative castle that you boys are going to build," Uncle Joe chuckled. Said Aunt Kathy. "Sounds like your imagination might be a little too wild." The twins shuffled off to their official planning table, aka the dining table. "They never think we can actually build these things," said Jonathan. "Just because we're little," said Drew. "But little people can do big things." The brothers traded a grin. "We'll show them. But how?" They rummaged and rooted through their plans. They paced and pondered. They buckled down and... Did I miss a page here? I feel like I missed a page. Nope, we're good. They paced and pondered. They buckled down and brainstormed. That means they came up with ideas. This project had to be absolutely perfect, but absolutely nothing they came up with felt quite right. "Feels like the perfect idea is right in front of our noses," said Jonathan. "Yep," said Drew. And that's when they noticed Gracie and Stewie. What kind of animal are Gracie and Stewie? They're dogs. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" asked Drew. "Even before you think it," said Jonathan. "Let's build a double-decker dog house," cried the brothers. In a flash, the boys grabbed paper and pencils and started working. They sketched and scribbled, doodled and designed, colored and created. And when they were done, they stepped back to look at their result and said together, "This will be the most awesomest double-decker doghouse ever!" They pooled all their savings and they plunked down their plans, their shopping list, and all their money on the counter. "We want to build the most awesomest double-decker doghouse ever," said Drew. The store worker pored over the plans. She read their list up and down. "You boys sure this is all you want?" she asked. "It seems kind of small." "Sure, we're sure," said Drew. "Nobody thinks we can," said Jonathan. "But little people can do big things." The brothers were so excited that they raced each other all the way home. Drew and Jonathan hurried into their garage. For the next few hours, all you could hear was voompa, 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 bam, 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 scritcha, scritcha, scritcha. At last, the brothers stepped back to admire their work. The double-decker doghouse was awesome, all right, but it was also way too small. Look at the size of that doghouse next to the dog. Can the dog fit inside there? No. "Oops," said Drew. "Uh-oh," said Jonathan. "I think we must have measured wrong." "What now?" said Drew. The brothers flopped down on the floor. Were the grown-ups right after all? Their money was gone, their work was done, and the twins had nothing to show for it. How could Drew and Jonathan turn their teeny tiny doghouse into something worthy of all that work? The brothers looked up, then their eyes met. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" said Jonathan. "Even before you think it," said Drew. And with a bit more tinkering, toying, and tuning up, the brothers turned their tiny doghouse into a super-duper deluxe birdhouse. That night, as they crawled into their beds, Jonathan said, "I bet those birds are dreaming of their own big dreams in their new house right now." Drew asked, "But where will Gracie and Stewie sleep?" At first, Jonathan wondered, but then he realized the dogs didn't need a house. They were already right where they belonged. As they slipped off to sleep, the brothers smiled because they knew what every builder knows. Every big plan starts with a dream. And that's the end.